Hi, my name is Ashley Viechweg. I work at Amy James Martin Middle School as a science teacher.
My name is Danelle Ross. I teach at Dunbar Promise Academy.
I'm Kshama Thomas and I'm a teacher at Dunbar Promise Academy.
When you work with RET, you learn as an engineer and you kind of shadow and do what they do, and therefore you walk away with this experience of engineering, not someone teaching you how to teach engineering. I think the highlight of the summer was just being able to do like all the different things I did. So I was able to learn how to draw in CAD, and I was able to go downstairs and drill and machine and laser cut, and then just being able to really experience the whole process of how do you design a robot, and that's like really cool.
My research project here at the RET program is working on unmanned aerial vehicles, and basically what that is they're similar to airplanes and they fly by themselves. They're considered autonomous, which means they have very little help from human interface.
My research project is centered around computer vision. Computer vision seeks to mimic artificial intelligence. My particular project is being able to visually estimate the amount of volume in a transparent container.
What we did was we scaled a robotic leg, and what we specifically looked at was how does the mechanical scaling of that leg affect the power? So can you scale at a constant rate, power at a constant rate? So we would make the leg, we did two, we made the leg larger and we also made the leg smaller. And then we want to see, is there some specific constant that when you do a specific task like hopping, is that scale at a certain constant from the original to the smaller version and from the original to the larger version?
I thought about all of the prerequisite skills I would need in order to understand what the problem needed in order for it to become a solution. So once I figured out what those prerequisite skills were, I was able to take those prerequisite skills and adapt them into a lesson, including things like something that I needed to know in order to understand what we were doing was a level of knowledge of geometry, a level of knowledge in algebra, perception, and volume, and understanding how to be able to read a technical paper. So those are all things that I planned on doing in my classroom, but now I have an advantage where I can explain to the children the reason why we're doing these types of lessons is because it could one day lead you to become an amazing computer scientist. You'll need all these skills.
What I found from this program is that it's not just about teaching, it's about thinking, about inspiring our students to think, to look at the world around them and ask questions. I think that anything they come across, they should have questions about it, and enough questions that they're willing to find an answer to. And I think that that's one of the biggest ways this program has changed me as a teacher, because we're so far past rote memory or basic application. I want to make my students creators or innovators, and the only way they can do that is through thinking. One of the things that I think is so important in the STEM environment or just engineering is that children in our community, they really don't know what it is. They don't know what it looks like. They don't know what it means to be an engineer. They aren't coming face to face with people who are engineers. So I think that that's really important to expose them out there to what's at their fingertips and that they can do to help them to understand about the different careers that do exist in the field of engineering, and explaining to them and teaching them how that process works. It's about having questions. It's about researching those questions and finding answers to a lot of problems that already exist in the world.
My experience was awesome. I really was able to understand what it means to be an engineer. So engineer always seems so lofty, like what is that? And it just sounds like the top echelon of a scientific major. And I wouldn't say that's not a top echelon, but understanding what they do, how they research, how they think, how you solve the problem using engineering. So that was pretty awesome.
do, what I did this summer with no background knowledge, you guys are capable of doing anything that I put in front of you. And that is why I used to play the Mission Impossible music. I'm saying that it feels like it is a mission impossible. It seems like what I put before you was impossible to learn and to do well at it. But it is something that you can accomplish if you're willing to put in the work.